sellers have to make repairs? Well, that is what I'm talking about in today's video. So whether you are the buyer buying the home and you are in the middle of your home inspection, or you are the seller that is getting ready to either list your home and you're wondering, do I have to make the repairs on my house? Or maybe you're even in the middle of a transaction where a buyer is actually asked for certain things to be repaired. Do you have to make repairs as a seller? If you're new to my channel or just stopping by, I help buyers, sellers, investors, as well as provide local insights on what it's like to live, work, and play in Park City, Utah. So, do sellers need to make repairs? Typically, when you're a buyer, you're going to add a home inspection contingency in the purchase of your home, which is basically your buyer due diligence here in Utah. So during buyer due diligence, it's not just home inspection, it's actually a lot of different things, but you'll always get a home inspection during your due diligence. For more items on what due diligence actually is, please check out this very extremely popular video. So when you are under contract and now you are in the due diligence process, whether you are a buyer or a seller, if you're a buyer, you're going to do your home inspection. If you're a seller, you're going to be waiting for kind of this home inspection period to end, for the due diligence to kind of be wrapped up, and to possibly get a list of requests from the buyer. Do you actually have to repair the requests that come up on this list? And how do you answer that? First off, as a seller, you can agree to fix anything you want that comes up for a buyer, no matter the cost. If it's really expensive or if it's not so expensive, you can say, yep, I'll repair that for you. Otherwise, you can say, no, I'm not going to repair anything, because in the state of Utah, homes are sold as is, and that is what is stated in the contract. However, if you opt out of doing major repairs on your home, you could potentially lose that buyer, and it could make it tricky for a sale down the line once you're under contract again. If you know all these things that have come up during their home inspection, and there's quite a few repairs that need to be made, and you're not willing to kind of do that, then the same issues are going to come up for the next buyer and the next buyer and the next buyer. So you can actually agree to fix any problem that is major. Maybe it is a safety problem, or it could be a legal concern, and that's something that you say, yes, I will take care of those types of repairs. And this could be things that are mold, radon, a leaky roof, structural issues, and you could decline the minor repairs, such as the weathering on the front door is stripped, there is a scuff on the wall, the faucet and the door handles are a little loose. Those are really minor things and very cosmetic, and you can choose to decline that. However, do keep in mind that if you have a lot of tiny, small fixes that need to be fixed, that could turn a buyer off, because if they aren't very handy and they have to call a handyman, I mean, a handyman costs like 95 bucks an hour. And so those little items could add up. And in their eyes, they could say, oh, well, all this list of tiny things that needs to be repaired could end up costing me thousands of dollars, because they're all going to add up. I always suggest that if you're a seller, get a pre-home inspection, get those minor things fixed and repaired before you list your home, so that they do not come up on a home inspection. And if there's anything major, you can choose to discuss that at the time. Either fix it or offer a concession before it goes under contract with a buyer. You're going to have to put that in your seller's disclosures, and that could really impact the value of your home. You could offer to lower the price of the home if some major repairs came up. And say you're a seller that just doesn't have the money to make those repairs, then you could also say that, hey, I will be willing to give you a concession for this, or I will be willing to lower the purchase price, because these are just repairs that are too expensive for me to make, and I don't want to get into that, but I do realize it could affect you buying my home, so I'm going to lower the purchase price for you, or give you a concession for what the actual cost would cost, or maybe split that in half with them. That way, I think that is always the safest way and the safest route to go, especially if that buyer is getting a loan, because lenders do not like repairs in the REPC, and usually things blow up 3 days before settlement when everybody's reviewing the document. I think the best route to offer a concession, so that way the buyer can have it repaired to their liking, rather than having you pick somebody. Obviously, as a seller, you're going to want it to get it repaired the cheapest way possible. You're not going to want to spend a lot of money on it. You're selling your house. You're not going to live here anymore. So pass that along to the buyer and let them repair it how they want to, and to be able to choose the contractor. But something to note that if you are a seller, this doesn't happen often in the Park City area because we really don't deal with FHA loans or VA loans a lot, just because the price of our real estate is so expensive. But something to note, you could have a VA loan come across your offer. Any of these government type of approved loans, as a seller, you need to be extremely aware that in order for this buyer's loan to fund, you will have to make certain repairs in order for their loan to close. So that is an extremely important note to take from this video, because if you accept an FHA loan or a VA loan and you deny certain requests, then that buyer's loan will actually not fund and they won't be able to buy your home. And FHA and VA are just very strict about codes and safety issues, and they require a bunch of different things, and a home inspection are quite a bit more rigorous than a regular kind of loan or a cash buyer. If you want to check out another video, make sure you check out how to negotiate repairs, especially if you are a buyer.